Hey there, wisdom is of God. This wisdom that God has given Mike here, a young man, but words of wisdom are bubbling out of him and I'm like, oh my God, this is a young man, but God is using him. He's having words that will fill you up. Words of wisdom. And I just wonder, do I read my Bible the proper way? Because when this kid starts talking, I'm like so blessed that I want to listen to him the whole day. So guys, even as you see me bring you his videos, it's because I want you to drink from this vessel that God has anointed. And please listen in.
Before what happens? Is something bad about to happen? Is something good about to happen? Is my life about to change? Yes, your life is going to change in the next 24 hours. And it's all because you're going to do one thing. I'm going to give you one thing to do in this video. And if you do it over the next 24 hours, I guarantee, without a doubt in my mind, your life will completely change. All you need to do is focus on God. Instead of focusing on your problems, focus on the problem solver. Instead of focusing on all these things you can't control, focus on the one who controls everything. Instead of focusing on the storm, focus on the Savior. Think about Peter in the Bible. Peter was literally walking on water, not because he was talented, not because he was special, not because he even knew what he was doing, but he was walking on water as long as he kept his focus on Jesus. But as soon as he turned away and got distracted and started focusing on the storm instead of his Savior, he started to sink. The same thing happens with us when we take our focus off of Jesus. We start to sink in anxiety, depression, fear. In fact, the Bible actually says that when Peter looked away, he saw the wind. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never seen the wind. Okay, maybe it's just me, but that's the thing about fear. That's the thing about taking your focus off of Jesus and overthinking. It'll make you see things that aren't even there. Fear and overthinking will make you say, what if? But when you have faith and you got your eyes on Jesus, that's when you say, even if. Fear will make you say, what if something bad happens? Faith will make you say, even if something bad happens, I know God still got me. God's still with me. God still has a plan even when I can't see it. God is still good even when life feels bad. So I'm going to keep my focus on him because he never changes. He stays the same yesterday, today, and forever. My circumstances is always changing. When you focus on your circumstances, circumstances literally means circum, which means around, and then stance means where you stand. So the word circumstance literally means what's around you where you're standing. And most people spend their entire lives focusing on all those things that are around them, their circumstances, their bills, their money, the drama, the fear, the pressure, the problems. But God is trying to tell you, stop staring at what's around you and start staring at who's above you. Because the same way Jesus let Peter walk on water, as long as he kept his focus on him, God will let you do things you could never do on your own, with your own strength. When you put your focus on him, he will add super to your natural. He will make what was once impossible possible. He will turn your ordinary into extraordinary. Peter didn't sink because of the wind or the waves. The storm didn't change. His focus did. And listen, no matter what storm you're going through, God is way bigger than that storm. I mean, think about when Jesus was sleeping in the storm on a boat. The disciples were freaking out. Meanwhile, Jesus is just out like a light, probably dreaming about multiplying 5 loaves and 2 fish or something. And it's not that Jesus didn't care about the storm. It's that he knew God was in control. It's not that Jesus didn't know how big the storm was. It's that he knew God is way bigger. We all focus on something, every single one of us. You chose to focus on this video for the next 10 minutes. And while you might be thinking about what I'm saying right now, after this video, you might go to focus on your problems, or you might focus on your fears, or you might focus on scrolling. I don't know. Or you could focus on God, which is the best thing to ever focus on, because what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. That's why God said in the Bible, if we keep our mind on him, he will keep us in perfect peace. Because peace doesn't mean we won't have problems, but it does mean our problems won't have us. Think about the story of David and Goliath. David was a teenage shepherd, and he was just delivering food to his brothers who were on the battlefield. And when he pulls up, everybody's freaking out, all because there was this big old giant named Goliath, and he was out there in the battlefield talking trash. I mean, he was like 10 feet tall. Shaquille O'Neal was 7 feet tall. That means Goliath could pat Shaq on the head and be like, what's up, little dude? How you doing down there? And the whole Israelite army is looking at Goliath like, man, he's too big. We are cooked. We are not taking him down. But that's because they were focused on the size of the giant. But David walked up and he saw the same giant they were looking at. And he was like, yeah, it's a big giant, but do you know my God? My God is way bigger than that giant. So he didn't focus on the size of the giant, he focused on the size of his God. Everyone else was measuring Goliath against himself, but David was measuring Goliath against his God. That's God math right there, and I like God math because God is bigger than whatever we face. And when he went up against Goliath, he didn't talk about how dangerous Goliath was. He talked about how great his God is. Stop telling God how big your problems are and start telling your problems how big your God is. And the same God who stood with David is the same God who's standing with you. And you know, I get it. It's so easy to lose focus off of God, and I've been there even recently. I've really been learning that if the devil can't destroy you, he'll distract you. If the devil can't make you bad, he'll make you busy. The devil wants to fill your hands with a phone so you never have time to fold your hands in prayer. The devil wants to keep your schedule full so that your soul stays empty. This is probably one of my biggest struggles as of recently, is being busy. Busyness, being busy with doing good things. I'm always making content, making music, and doing things for the glory of God. But if I'm never spending time with God, what does it even mean? I have a lyric in one of my songs I made recently that says, I'm tired of talking about the Lord, but never talking to him. And I feel like it's so easy to be in that place where, you're talking about God, you look like you play the part, but you have no relationship with God. And I'm here to tell you, man, there's nothing more important than having a relationship with God. Nothing can replace that. You can scroll for hours and learn all about God and still feel empty. But just one moment with God can do more than a whole decade of trying to do stuff on your own. So for the next 24 hours, I'm challenging you, whenever you're watching this, to focus on God. And what does that mean? How does that look? Pray a little bit more. Read the Bible a little bit more. Scroll a little less. And just thank God for all the things that he's blessed you with. I'm not saying that focusing on God is going to completely change your circumstances or change your situation, but I'm telling you for a fact, it's going to change you. And do you know the story of Mary and Martha in the Bible? So Jesus walks into this house where these two sisters live, Mary and Martha. And Martha, she's in the kitchen. She's going crazy. She knows that Jesus is at her crib. And she's like, man, I got to cook him up a good meal. She's in there cleaning and making sure everything looks great and just doing all this stuff. Meanwhile, Mary is just sitting at Jesus' feet, focused on Jesus. And Martha starts getting mad. She's like, Jesus, tell my sister Mary that she needs to start picking up the slack around here. I'm doing everything. I'm cooking the meal. I'm cleaning up. I'm doing all this stuff. But Jesus looks at her, and you know what he says? Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary chose the better thing. I'm preaching to myself right now. I do so much stuff every single day to try and please God, and that's not bad. But when that's all you're doing and you never spend time at Jesus' feet, just like Mary, you're missing the whole point. It's not that Martha was a bad person for trying to serve Jesus and do all this stuff. It's just that she was distracted. She was trying to do all this stuff for Jesus that she never spent any time with Jesus. I mean, Jesus literally said only one thing matters, and that Mary chose it, and she was sitting.
Do I get things right here? Trying to do everything for Jesus, but not trying to do everything for Jesus, but not spending any time with Jesus. Please teach me some English here. Trying to do everything for Jesus, but not spending any time with Jesus. Okay, I understand. We need to have a personal relationship with God. We have to have a personal relationship with Jesus. You can serve Jesus all the day long. There are many things that you can do to serve God. But if you don't have a relationship, a personal one, with him, spending time with him, then you are losing it. If I don't get anything else in this video, I'm taking that home with me tonight. How about you?
At Jesus' feet, focused on him. All that matters in this life is our focus on Jesus. There's a story in the Bible where this king named Jehoshaphat wakes up to the worst news ever. He has not one, not two, but 3 different armies coming after him and attacking him and his people at the same time. He was outnumbered, he was outmatched, he was cooked. And you know what he does? He goes straight to God and he says, we don't know what to do, but our eyes are on you. I mean, he could have tried to strategize and put a plan together, but no, the first thing he did was go to God. He put his focus on God. And you know what God said? He said, don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged, for the battle is not yours, but mine. And God basically says, you're not even gonna have to fight this battle. I'm gonna fight this battle for you. And so the next day, Jehoshaphat doesn't send soldiers to the front line. He sends a worship team. Can you imagine the dude with the tambourine? I didn't sign up for this. But they go out there and they sing, and Before you know it, the enemy armies just start fighting themselves. And before Jehoshaphat's people even reach the battlefield, before they even get out there, every single enemy is already wiped out. God already fought the battle for them. This battle was not won with weapons. It was won with worship. When you turn your worry into worship and your panic into praise, God will turn your mess into a message, your test into a testimony, your why God into a wow God. The greatest weapon we have is not our strength, it's our surrender. Another story in the Bible, and this one is super underrated, is the story of Hagar. So this lady named Hagar was out in the middle of the wilderness with her son, and all she had for her son was this bottle of water. And the bottle of water runs out. They used all the water, and Hagar starts crying over the bottle of water. And then something crazy happens. God opens her eyes, and she sees a whole well of water in front of her. Hold up a second. So that means the well of water was there the entire time, but she was too busy crying over the empty bottle that she couldn't see the well of water right in front of her. She was too focused on what she didn't have that she couldn't see what she did have. She was too focused on what she lost that she couldn't see what God was trying to show her that she had. She couldn't see the well of water in front of her eyes because of the water welling up in her eyes. And so I'm here to tell you, stop crying over these things that are gone and all these empty bottles in your life. That relationship that didn't work out, that person that walked out of your life, the plan that didn't work out, the job you didn't get. And I challenge you over the next 24 hours to focus on your blessings instead of your burdens. It's all about what you focus on. That's my entire point with this message right now, is to change your focus and God will change your life. I mean, this ties in perfectly.
Empty bottles in my life, empty bottles in your life, the relationships that did not work, empty bottle. You know, education that you did not get, empty bottle. Money that you looked for and you didn't get, empty bottle. You know, things that you run after and you miss them and you don't get them, empty bottle. Stop focusing on those, but focus on God. That is the word for today.
With Adam and Eve too. The very first temptation in the Bible was the temptation to focus on lack. Think about it. Adam and Eve had everything. I'm talking, they had an abundance of an abundance. God told them there's just one tree that you can't eat from, but all the other trees, go crazy. And how did the devil tempt them? He got them to focus on the one tree that they couldn't eat from, the one thing that they didn't have. And that's how the devil still works today, man. You could have 999 blessings, but the devil will get you to focus on that one thing that you don't have. Where attention goes, energy flows. If you focus on what you're missing what you have. And you might not have everything you want, but if God is all you have all you need. The devil can't block your blessings, but he can distract you from your blessings. What you take for granted is somebody else's miracle. Somebody out there is praying for a life like yours. Somebody literally wishes they had your problems. This is something me and my brother were talking about. I think he was saying, oh man, I'm so busy today. I got so many things to do. And I was like, bro, somebody out there wishes they had those kind of problems right now. Somebody is out there in another country and they don't even have water. Meanwhile, you're over here stressing about your busy day. Come on now, man. We are so blessed. And the Bible literally says that that tree that Adam and Eve couldn't eat from was in the middle of the garden. Do you know what that means? That means Adam and Eve had to walk past all these trees they could eat from to get to the one tree they couldn't eat from. And listen, Jesus said, if you seek, you will find. In other words, if you look for the good, you'll find it. If you look for the bad, you'll find that too. What if over the next 24 hours, you looked for reasons why it's the best day of your life? The truth is, no amount of worrying changes the future, no amount of regret changes the past, but any amount of gratitude changes the present.
Now, I don't need anything more. I'm already full. I'm filled up. That we focus on the things that we don't have and lose focus on what God has already given us. And that is where we fail. You want to focus on the problems that you have, forgetting that God has given you many blessings. And the devil doesn't want you to see those blessings. He wants you to focus on what you don't have. Now, can you try focus on the things that God has blessed you with? And this will open your eyes to the things that God is able to give you. And that is the sermon for today. God bless you as you subscribe, like, and share. Bye.